open up your relationship with the church and various functions that you can do with the Pope. Alright, so we're gonna pick the amass wealth, and then we're probably gonna go back to those decisions and go on a grand hunt because it was available for me to do. Alright, so here we are going to be trading off 25 gold to go on a grand hunt, but we will begin a 0.05 monthly prestige from this, and as well as that, it's going to start a hunt story chain event, which will give me different options to click on as well. So I've given the order for the grand hunt to be organized in my capital here. Here's my capital territory. It's just got 3 holdings on it, 2 cities, a chapel, and my castle. Alright, so we're going to clear the rest of these. Left click, minor titles are being grantable. Designated regent, we're going to make be my wife. And another way you can do that instead of trying to find people in here, this will tell you all the valid people you can choose. Another way to do that is you can just right click on the person and say award honorary title, and it will also let you give a title to somebody that way as well. So we're both pretty old people here, so if I become senile first, I'm going to let my wife run my realm while I'm senile. There were still other minor titles that weren't uh, given out yet. So in order to get to those, we click on the council command, which is right here. And then we can see here's your council in the positions. And then on the other side, we have the titles. So these are going to be your minor titles. And we're just going to fill the rest of these out. Commanders, you want to get people who have high martial. They're the people who are going to be leading your army, and they have chances to get killed in battle and whatnot. But they earn some prestige and recognition for commanding your army. The rest of these, it's pretty much up to you to give. They do give monthly gold and prestige to whoever you're going to award it to. It also gives them opinion bonus towards you, so they will end up liking you more because you did give them a significant standing within your court. So these you usually want to give to people who are going to be giving you problems. So if you have any vassals who don't like you, this is a easy way to give them a little bit of an opinion boost towards you, as long as you're not going to give them the cupbearer one. Cupbearer you want to really give to somebody who's going to be loyal to you, because it's the person that you're trusting not to poison you. So what I like to usually do is start of a game is give these positions to family members um, in my house. So we are House Vlanderin, and we currently have 10 living family members. So we're gonna give some of these positions to two family members here, just to make my family more better off than the rest of France, hopefully. So we're gonna be looking for my house shield, which is right here. So we only have my son right here, who is able to become cupbearer. It's not a good idea to make him become my cupbearer because he could potentially kill me so he could be ruthless to kill me so that he can inherit some more land of his own. He is deceitful, which is something you don't want to give. Your cupbearer doesn't want to be deceitful. You want to find somebody who's going to be either honest, which is the opposite of being deceit, or you want to find somebody who has the trait content, which is the opposite of being ambitious. They're content with their lot in life, and they're not going to try uh, going against the current flow. So this guy is content. He's this little spoon, porch spoon. He's a content character. So they're satisfied with their lot in life. They make loyal vassals, but they're unsuited to intrigue. Um, he's also deceitful, so kind of a deceitful content. It's kind of a weird mixture here. Um, we're going to give it to him anyways. And we're just going to fill out the rest of these. So we just basically fill out the rest of those with the other counts that I have. So now all four of my vassal counts hold one of my prestigious minor titles within my court. So alright, so we got one thing left to do. Idle council members. That means you have to assign jobs for these people. Now just starting out, what I like to do is improve the technology for wherever my capital is. So that means four of these people right off the start are going to be assigned right away. We're going to have the court chaplain, the steward, and the marshal all researching technology. So we're going to take a look at the technology, which is these little gear icons right here. And you can see here the technological advances. Your marshal is going to do military, your steward economy, and your preacher guy is going to do cultural advances. So this is the technology system in the game, and as you level these up individually, they'll give you access to more things or bonus stats to more things. Economy gives you access to further your buildings, like you can improve your castles and cities and chapels to a greater extent. Military basically makes your army more powerful, and cultural advances lets you unlock additional choices in the legal system, in the feudal legal system, as well as improves your standing with various aspects of feudal society. Um, so noble customs and popular customs and religious customs will all give you a boost to those particular feudal rankings. So people who are castle holders underneath you would be your nobles. Popular customs would be people who are your city owners, so people who are owning your cities in your realm. And then religious customs would be your people who are running your chapels. So we're gonna just give all these technology bonuses. And your spy master also can give you technology bonus, but he's not going to help in any research. So everybody else is currently assigned to research a tech that's related to their specific field. Um, but the spy master is actually going to spy on a different area of the map outside of my realm, and he's going to spy on their current technological progress, and hopefully he'll discover some kind of secrets to their successful tech and send it back my way so I can learn from other people who are more ahead of me. Usually, people who are going to be more ahead of you is going to be the traditional power centers of these high middle times, which is probably going to be the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire here, what's left of it, and also holy cities. Rome, for example, might be with the papacy seated right here, and also over here in the Andalus, Spain, usually Cordoba right here would be more advanced as well, because it's a city with multiple cultures in it, and it is a holy land as well. So let's see where we can spy and gain that technology. So we're actually not able to spy on anybody right now in order to get any technological bonus. It would be showing up as a colored in tile. So the reason for that is because everybody has similar tech right now, and those who don't, which is probably the Eastern Roman Empire over here, is out of my diplomatic range. So there is, under diplomacy options, you're only able to interact with characters who are within a certain distance from you. So this is really the limitations of this time of in of the world here, the Middle Ages. You know, you only have contacts that can reach so far. So I'm not able to probably reach to the Eastern Roman Empire. So they're probably out of my sphere of influence. So we're just going to assign the standard, other default standard job for a spy master is to, on the far left, is to discover people who are plotting against you, and the job in the middle is to build your own spy network so you can more easily plot against others. So we're going to just play defensive here. And then our Chancellor has 3 skills as well to choose from. Fabricate claims, the one in the middle with the little hand icon over it, and that's how you get a Coblaw in order to expand your territory. Say I wanted to expand my territory, I can't declare war. You can see I right click on this county here, or right click on this guy, and it's not letting me declare war on him. I don't have a valid reason to declare war on him right now, so it's grayed out. So what we could do is we could hit that middle button for my Chancellor, which gives me a percent chance every year to forge documents and forge relationships um, with people in noble standings here, and say that, yeah, my person has a claim on this land somehow through my ancient third removed cousin or something like that. So we can fabricate information like that, and then we will eventually, once that fabrication is complete, we will be able to press a claim for this county. That's one of the ways you can expand in the game. The first option is diplomatic stand-ins, so that will hopefully increase the person who you put that onto. So I'm probably going to use that and put it on my Paris here, so that I can improve my standing with my king. And then the third option is the opposite of the one I just picked. So it's soul discontent. It will make whoever you put your chancellor, he will try making the vassals of that person on that county dislike their liege. So, and so we're ready to start playing. So we got a couple of events popped up here. The White Hart has been seen in the north of my capital territory here. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not going to even try. I'm told it is a heart of 10 and the biggest deer that's ever been seen. So I find no joy in killing such a proud animal. I will send out my best hunter, or this will become my personal kill. So each one of these options will result in a different outcome, and it's random number generation on outcomes that have multiple possibilities. Like this is my kill. For example, you see there's a wounded trait, and there's also a diligent trait. So there's going to be a random percent chance to get either one of those, or maybe neither of them. I will send out my best hunter. Will give me opinion modifier boost towards, I believe, my martial. And I find no joy in killing such a proud animal. Is probably gonna give me more pieism. Might might make my prestige go down. We can hover over it to find out. Yeah, so it's gonna make me more pious. It will give me 25 piety if I find no joy in killing such an animal. My person is an old guy. He's 54 years old, so um, getting traits for my person right now isn't really a priority because he's not going to be around to use them for a while. So picking up diligent would normally be a really good thing because it does give you a ton of bonuses to your character stats. But we really don't need that because we're going to be kicking the bucket soon probably. So people in the Middle Ages don't usually live that long, so we're just gonna give him the piety. Alright, my work task bores me. Conversation with my courtiers bores me. Everything bores me. I need something new and exciting in my life. Some hunting will cheer me up, or perhaps I shall send for a new bird. So we're gonna say, let's see. So it's a 50-50 chance basically on either one of these. Um, I can either learn falconry from sending for a new bird, or I can horribly go wrong learning falconry, or I can do a successful hunt, or I can have a horribly bad hunt. So it's really depending on how you want to role play your character, on what choices you want to make. We're just gonna go keep with the hunting theme, and we're gonna have some hunting. Hopefully, cheer my person up. So the hunt was a huge disappointment. There wasn't any game in sight, and my horse threw me to the ground. So I can go ahead and try the falconry instead, or I can just say, shrug it off and forget about it, which will give me the depressed trait. My person will become depressed with his lot in life, and we're gonna become depressed. We're gonna say, you know what? Forget about it. Let me become depressed. Now, depression is something like in real life you don't want to become depressed because it's not good for your health. So we can see here it's going to give me negative health to my person and negative to my fertility because I'm depressed. Who wants to have sex when they're depressed? And all my skills in life are going to get negatively impacted as well. So, but there is a good side to being depressed in this particular game, and that is, if we pause the game here, that I can commit suicide now. Being depressed in this game lets you become suicidal. So I am a pretty old guy, and I'd rather not have have to play with this guy anymore because he's pretty old. I'd rather get some young blood on the throne. So picking up that depressed trait is able to let me commit suicide. So we're gonna actually do suicide right now and let let my younger generation take over on the throne. So my depression has gotten the better of me, and I have decided to end it all. So he's gonna be ending his life here, and it does give me some pretty significant uh, things here on my character when I pick this option. I'm going to lose 200 prestige, and I will get suicide, giving me negative 50 general opinion. If it's unsuccessful, everybody will hate me 50 points. So in this game, you get plus 100 or negative 100, and there's various things that stack to add that up. So if I fail to do suicide, and it's not a successful attempt on my life, everybody will hate my person by 50 points. The other outcome is it was successful and I died. So, so I ended up committing suicide. Looks like it was successful, and I have given up the ghost. At the age 54, I have committed suicide. Although I was not especially blessed, they do hope that I find peace within the afterlife. So my son here, who was aptly named after me apparently, whatever this name is, I don't speak French, so I'm not going to be trying to pronounce this guy's name. Um, but whatever, we'll just call him B. Mr. B the Sixth here is being a talented military tactician. We, my vassals expect him to lead us to many victories on the field of battle. Long live Duke B the Sixth. So we have some more things we have to take care of now that we are a new character. We have to pick a new ambition, and let's see what we have. Pretty good martial skills, so we can aspire to become on the uh, court of the king, King Philip here, who is not yet turned to an adult. In order to become an adult in this game, you have to hit the ripe age of 16. So once you're 16 years old, you're legally considered an adult, and you're able to do all the adultly things in this game, like get married, kill people, go to war, have sex, make babies, etc., etc. So our king here is only a 14-year-old, so he has 2 more years to go before he becomes a full-grown king. He is king still, but he's got a regent acting for him in his stead. So we're gonna aspire to become uh, marshal for King Philip. The other options is build more money, become more pious, or become prestigious. That's the crown icon. And then the various other options will improve my person's stats. If my stats are below a certain level, I can click those and I will get events throughout my man's life that will let me improve those stats up to level 8. So you see I have stewardship is currently 8, so I don't have an ambition to improve that, but I can improve my diplomacy, my intrigue, and my learning. And then the last one on the far right is always going to be an ambition to become greater than you are. So if you're a count, it will be an ambition to become the duke of whatever your county for whatever your county lies. So if I was the count of just this county right here, I could aspire to become the duke of all this land, of all the orange land right here, the Duke of Flanders. Since I am the Duke of Flanders, I can aspire to become the king of France, which is the de jure land for Flanders. It belongs to France initially, so we're going to aspire to become the marshal. Okay, so we're going to go on a grand hunt again. Because this guy hasn't gone on a grand hunt yet. So we're going to do that. And then there's different various things you can do. Holding a feast is something you would do in the autumn time of the year. And you will invite all your vassals to your place for a ginormous feast, which will give you greater prestige. And then holding a summer fair is something you do during the early days of spring, in April, May. You plan to hold a summer fair, and that will make it so that your risk of revolt with your peasants is going to be reduced, and you also get various events to fire off in that as well. So buying indulgence for sins is once in a lifetime opportunity to give a chunk of gold to the Pope in order to have the Pope say, "Thank you, my pious son. You are quite pious," and you'll get a bit of piety in exchange for a lump of gold. So we're just gonna right now try to get my gold up because we really want to improve my realm. I don't have multiple things built in my realm right now. You can see the red icon with the gold stack means I can build those things if I had the money. The little cog gears means I can't improve those because I don't have the technology to improve them. So we do have a couple things we can improve here if I had the money to do so. So we're just gonna put the game to the fastest speed possible and unpause it here. So if I have a new heir, if I die, my new heir will be my son. So I do have some children already with my wife, and so my son will become my new heir to the throne if I am to succumb to death. Alright, so we also have a message here from my king. Uh, a message about appoint commander has been received from my liege. So my wisdom and mercy are legendary. We have decided to offer you the position of a commander. Do I accept? Now, commander is not really what I'm going for. I wanted to become the marshal to the realm. Um, but I guess commanding ground troops is one way to improve my martial capabilities if I don't pick up any wounds in battle. So we're gonna accept to become a commander. Alright, news of my hunt are the dogs have caught scent of a boar within the forest. This is the chance of getting a mighty boar slain. So I can send my peasants in to finish it off, which will give me the craven trait, will make me appear cowardice. I don't want to become cowardice because I'm trying to become the marshal for the King of France. So we're going to face it alone with my spear. Hopefully we don't get wounded and we end up picking up diligence instead. Let's see what happens. So we are at war right now. In the lower right corner of the screen you can see all the current wars you're involved with. And the Holy Roman French de jure war over Zealand. So Zealand is actually one of my territories. So the Holy Roman Empire is trying right now to come and conquer Zealand. So Zealand is not part of Flanders. Zealand is part of Holland. So Holland is part of Frisia, which is within the HRE. So the Holy Roman Empire right now, they're saying, hey, this land traditionally belongs to us. It's rightfully within our realm. We want it back. So HRE has declared war to get this county from me. So we're gonna join in on the King of France. We're gonna join his war to defend against the conquest of Zealand because we don't want to lose a vassal. Especially, we don't want to lose this because my brother currently is the count for this territory. So I don't want family members losing land because that's it's gonna make my house weaker. So you really want to build up your house because you get in the upper right far corner here. This very last thing is your score basically. Right now my score is a negative 125, and that's because I took that negative 200 from committing suicide. So it's not good that I don't have any score right now. My score is actually in the negative. Um, what your score does basically is when a child is born to your dynasty, either to you and your wife, or for example to my brother here, who's this account of this realm, what your score overall score does is it will give a bit of prestige to the children born in your dynasty. Also, here we look at my house, Van Vlanderdern. We can see my current prestige is 245 for my house, and this will increase by giving land to people in your dynasty. So, and this will also give a percentage to children born in your dynasty. So, dear cousin, peace be with you. I gladly accept your offer of assistance in my war. Let our enemies tremble. Signed, King Philip. So King Philip has allowed me to join into the defense of Zealand. So we can see these armies here. The blue ones are allies in this war. The red ones are enemies. And the green ones would be my army. I don't have any army raised yet, so we are at war now, so we're going to go ahead and raise my military. You do that by clicking on the military tab, and you can see various different things here. We can see our vassals by default. If my vassals love me or if my vassals hate me, we can see how many troops they're going to provide individually, and then we can raise each one of these vassals' troops individually. Then we have mercenaries, which you need a lot of money to hire these guys, to hire a merc company. I'm too broke to hire any merc company, and they do cost monthly maintenance fees, so you have to give them an upfront lump sum of gold in order to contract them to fight for you, and then you have to pay their monthly upkeep fee, which is you're paying for their food and rations and stuff like that. So they're pretty expensive to hire. The last one is a holy order. Right now, we don't have any holy orders founded yet for the Christian faith. So Knights of Santiago, for example, would be founded over here in Spain. Hospitaller Knights would be over here in the HRE, traditionally founds them. Jerusalem usually founds some as well. I don't know which ones. I think maybe the Templars or something, Knights Templars or something like that. I don't know. But there's no holy orders founded yet. And how you hire the holy orders is unlike mercenaries where you're paying with gold, you're paying for the holy orders with piety. So you have to be a pious person to hire the holy order. And unlike mercenaries, holy orders won't fight against people who are also a Christian faith. So If you do contract a holy order to fight for you, they're only going to be fighting against infidels, which would be, looking at the map here, infidels would basically be anybody who's not in the white or pink colored on the map here, and even this yellow down here, these Miaphites. Miaphite is a branch of Catholicism, so we're not going to be able to use holy orders against them or against the pink, which is the Orthodox branch of Catholicism, or Catholics. Quite obviously, that's what I'm currently following, Roman Catholic. But there are different branches of Catholicism. You have the Orthodox branch, Miaphites. So holy orders won't be able to go to war against those people either, because they're considered to be Christian as well. So you could go against all the green ones here, which is the Muslim faiths of Shiites and Sunnis. Then you have the Indian faiths over here, Hindu, Jain, and Buddhist. And then you have your pagans, Tengri, Sumu, Mensuko, um, Germanic pagan, Roms, Slavic. Uh, you have Jewish community. You could go to war against them with your holy order, because they're not considered to be Christian. And then Zoroastrianism, which is it's a really unique, fun religion to play. Zoroastrianism is a Persian region-based religion. Basically, you're worshiping the sun, goddess of the sun, and you're able to do some pretty unique things you're not able to do playing as a Catholic. And that one of the things is incest. It's looked upon as a Zoroastrian to be having inbred relationships. Now, I'm not able to play as any of these, Zoroastrianism or Sunni Shiite or any of these Indian religions or Tengri or Germanic or anything like that. Those are all part of expansion pack DLCs. So this is Crusader Kings. The game is originally came out, as I'm playing it right now, was originally came out to be a Catholic person and to go on crusades against all these other religions. So Crusader Kings is the name of the game, and so you are going to be playing either an Orthodox, a Catholic, or a Miaphite. That's what you're going to be limited to. The rest of those religions have been added in DLCs, and the reason for that is because Crusader Kings didn't have any kind of backstory or events or anything like that added in for those religions. So the developers had to add in a bunch of storylines, scenarios, and stuff for you to play as one of these other religions. So, um, like the Shiite uprising, for example, Rise of the Shiites and things like that. Of the assassins, for example, that stuff wasn't added into the game until those expansions made it possible. So also all the pagan stuff and Buddhism and stuff like that, and so all that stuff was added later in it as DLCs. So we are at war with the HRE now, and here we can see the red area is pretty big, large swath of map that we're going against here. This little tiny green area is my current land holdings versus all this giant red chunk. Now France is also fighting this with me, which would be the yellow, I believe. So yellow is the Kingdom of France land holding. So King Philip holds this yellow land. Right now, the rest of France is not in this war, but being the king of France, he can call on his dukes So I believe there's, let's see, these little shields are dukes. So he can call the Duke of Toulouse and the Duke of Aquitaine. He can call up a levy from them, and he can require troops from those guys to fight for the Kingdom of France, because that is their feudal obligation, is to provide troops to their liege. So even though the Duke of Toulouse, for example, of Aquitaine, isn't in this war, he's still required to provide troops. And you can see these are the troops he's given to the King of France. He's given this 702 troops to fight for his king. Now, if I was able to get this Duke of Toulouse to fight in this war with me, um, if I had an alliance with him, I could call him into this war. Basically, what that would do is it would make him have all his vassals underneath him, his counts, for example. If these guys here are all counts to him, it would make those guys be feudally obliged to give him troops to fight in the war. So right now, the only troops that we're getting are from the personal holdings of the dukes directly under the King of France. So any land holdings that this guy holds personally, which is 2 counties, is where the troops are coming from. So we're gonna raise our troops, and an easy way to do that, instead of clicking on all these counts individually, is we can just click the little button here that says raise troops from vassals, and now we call up all the troops in my realm from my underlings who are feudally obliged to give me troops. We're going to also raise my own troops from my own demonies from my 3 counties I own. And then the last thing is we can see if we have any allies that we can call into war. I don't believe I have any allies, because I did just inherit this title here. I did just become Duke, and I wasn't able to forge any alliances. Any alliances that my father had would have been declared null and void upon his death. So I don't believe we have any alliances. Let's see if we do. Alright, so this is apparently not a call ally button. I don't know what expansion pack adds that feature, but usually it says call allies into battle. This button in the base game is limited to calling feudal and nomadic vassals into war. Now, uh, being nomadic or tribal means that they're not feudally obliged to give you troops at all. So calling them into war is going to be based on their opinion. If they like you, they will maybe potentially join your war for honor and prestige that they can gain themselves. And if they don't like you, they're going to say, "Sawed off. We don't give a fuck. Um, we're not feudally obliged to do anything to you." So that is mostly over here in this Russian, Siberia, Eastern Asia region, the steppes, and part of Africa here. We can see that they're tribal states. They're not civilized enough to adopt the feudal system. So nomadic is something that has been added in another DLC. It does replace the tribal system for parts of the map that did use nomads, which would be the steppe area over here. So tribal would probably still be over here in this part of the map, and tribal would still be down here in this part of the map. But over here in the uh, Great Steppes, we would see tribal be getting replaced with that nomadic, and it's just different gameplay than tribal. Um, so we are at war now, and we did raise my personal army, and we raised the army of my vassals. So we're gonna select all of them here and have them converge into one location, so we can combine them into one army. Oh no, war has disrupted my grand hunt. We are forced to cancel my activities. So we just combined these armies here, and we're gonna look at who we have leading my army flanks, and we're gonna make sure we have competent people leading my army, because I don't want to be outmaneuvered here on the battlefield. So I'm gonna have my brother. Actually, I'm gonna lead the army myself here. I have my brother lead one of the flanks, and let's see who else we have here. Looks like we have a mayor. One of my mayors is pretty good technician who can bring up the other flank. So our main goal is not to win this war. Um, Obviously, it would be nice if we could win this war, but it is the Holy Roman Empire, so we are very unlikely to win this war. We just want to get a peace deal, basically. We don't want to lose the war. We don't want to win the war. We want to do a white peace. So that's what we're going to be aiming for this war. So we're gonna go here, see where the king of the French army is moving to meet up with these other forces down here. So we're gonna meet up with the French army, and looks like they're sieging some territory over here. We're gonna meet up with them and join their forces and follow wherever they go. Here comes the Holy Roman Empire. They are coming in force. They got a stack of 14,000 troops. Hopefully I can join in with these other French forces before those guys get to the battlefield. Alright, so we are able to join up here. So we're just going to click these guys, and we're going to click this little chain link button. And what's that button is going to do is it's going to have me link my army to these main forces of France. So we're going to click the chain link button, and now I don't have to worry about what's happening with this army. Wherever the King of France decides to move his forces, I will automatically follow him. So we do see here that a battle is going to happen. That's what these little icons are above my troops. It means a battle is imminent because we have these forces coming in from Loin. And we see there's a plus and minus symbol as well. That means that there's a positive defender bonus for me. I am getting a defense. These troops are getting a defense bonus, and the attacking troops are getting a negative bonus. The reason for that is because if we switch to the terrain view, oh, which one of these is the terrain view? Oh, we're currently on it. Terrain view. We're currently on the terrain view. We can see in terrain view, if we hover over this county that we're on, it's going to say terrain is heals. We are in heals. So heals do provide a defensive bonus for any troops that are in them. So we're getting that defensive bonus, which is that little green plus from heals. We'll get the defensive bonus from heals, and it will give pikemen 5% attack, 10% defense, archers 15% to their attack, and 20% to their defense, and then horse archers will also get a bonus. We don't have any horse archers. That's a unique unit, which we don't have in this game. It would be unique unit to your retinue, basically. Retinue is a stand-in army, so you don't raise it. It's an army that you have year-round, all the time. It costs a lot of gold to form initially, but once it's formed, it's pretty much maintenance-free, low maintenance, and it's a standing army you get year-round, and you're able to make it up with however you want to make that composition of forces. But that was added in, I believe, the DLC for the Byzantine Empire. I don't remember what it's called. I think Legacy of Rome is what that was called. So back on this here, we have that positive, and the attacker is also going to get a negative. Now the attacker is not getting a negative from the coming into heals. They're getting a negative because we are on rivers right here, and the attacker is crossing the river. So they're getting a river crossing penalty, which is going to give them all these negatives to most of their troops. Will get negative opinions to their attack and to their defense. So we do have, adding this up, about 12,000 troops. So we don't have as many troops as the HRE has, but we do have this positive to us and the minus to them. So looks like they're due to arrive on the 4th of April. Alright, they're going to be arriving anytime soon. Alright, looks like they have multiple 17,000, so this is going to be arriving on the 4th, the 5th, and then the 6th. So they're going to have 17,000 troops fighting here. We only have about 13,000, so we are going to be 4,000 troops understaffed here. So hopefully this terrain advantage can make up for it. See what happens here. Battle is kicking off. And we're looking pretty good in this fight. The reason why we're looking pretty good in this fight is because the attacking force doesn't have anybody leading their flanks. So we can see their flanks are all empty right now. There's question mark in all of them, so they're just getting generic tactics. They're not really doing any kind of tactical advantage over us. We have a 16, 22, and a 14 leading the flanks of the French army. So the French are actually in a superior position here in that we're able to pick tactics that are going to be more advantageous for us. Alright, so those other troops did come in now on the 5th and 6th of April, and it looks like those troops were being led by commanders. So now they do have commanders on those flanks, but it looks like we are equal and or greater than skill level of those commanders of the enemy. So we should hopefully still have a tactical advantage. It's really hard to see what's going on in the battle. There's no way to make this window bigger. But you can see we're on the bottom there. France is on the bottom. The attackers are on the top. And we can see that the battle phase has just switched in the middle flank. You see the red arrows connecting one another. That means we are on the melee phase. The left and right flanks are still in Scrimmage Phase. So Scrimmage Phase is the archers. And we don't have as many archers as the enemy has. The enemy has more troops than us, so they're doing more damage to us in the Scrimmage Phase. We really want to get out of those archer fire and get into melee phase. This red bar you see growing here is the morale of the army flank. So we can see that we shattered the middle flank of the attackers. They are in a white flag retreat. So the middle flank is retreating, and our middle flank is going to help out on our right flank. So our right flank's getting additional troops helping out from the middle. So you can see here our tactical superiority has given us an advantage in this melee phase. Melee phase, we got shield wall tactics and overwhelming charge tactics, but this red icon here means that we have a narrow front. So normally the enemy here has far greater troops than I have. They have 5,500 troops on each one of these flanks compared to my 3,100 and 30, I think that's an 8, 30, that's a 6, 3,600. So they have a lot more troops than I have, but since my commanders are in a superior position on terrain and they have better tactics, they're able to narrow the front of battle. So we're fighting on equal footing here. We're fighting with equal footing on the amount of troops in this battle currently. Okay, so the right flank did just collapse, and now both the right and center flank are moving in on the left flank. They should make short work of that, and they did make short work of that. And so now we're in the pursue phase, and we're sending cavalry out to basically slice down these cowards as they run away, hit them in the back, and trample over them with their horses, and just trying to inflict as many casualties as possible in this pursue phase. You can see here, negative 1,576 losses yesterday on this flank because they were being crushed. They were just being enveloped with troops. They were being surrounded, basically. We should start seeing a lot of casualties here as we pursue them with our cavalry. So they're taking a bunch of losses here. Here's the overall summary of the battle. We can see these Holy Roman Empire forces are retreating. They ended up losing. They're running away with their tail between their leg. So there's a couple things to note in this battle summary window. You have your troop summary and you have the enemy troop summary of the battle, how many troops were initially fielded, how many people got killed of that particular type, how many survived. So you can see all that details there. But the most important thing is you can see the war score, and you can see how much prestige you got for fighting in that battle. So here's our war score, 75 points in our favor. So we are in a very good position to actually win this war. We can actually do a white peace right now and come out with no gains. But we're in a pretty good chance to win this war. If we can pick up another 25 points in war score, either from fighting in big battles like that or by conquering territory, we will be in a good chance to win this war. Here's the prestige gained in battle, and so that was going to be distributed between the people who participated in the battle. So I was leading forces in this fight, so I'm going to gain a part of the uh, prestige in there. It looks like Duke William the Bastard was also leading some troops in this fight, so he's going to gain some prestige. And then Mayor Herman of Newport was also leading the battle on one of the flanks. So this gets divided amongst those people who were leading one of the flanks in the army. So I was able to pick up some prestige from that. Piety, we didn't gain any because this isn't a holy war that we're fighting. So we aren't crushing infidel, so we're not gaining any piety. Now, if we had lost this war, or not lost this war, if we lost this battle, we would be getting negative numbers for all these. We would be losing prestige and losing war score. And then the last one here is military tech that you gained. So upon fighting this enormous battle, we gained 5.9 points of military tech. So my commanders and the nobility in general were able to make some observations about that battle in order to improve our technology. So we can see here now, if we open up this war, it will give you a summary of battles, and then we can see the overall war score is in our favor, 75% from battles, 0% from occupation. So we can see initially the HRE came in with 17.8 thousand troops, then it ended up losing 11.8. So they lost almost their entire army, almost just got destroyed. They're just running away now with 6,000 troops. So they only got 6,000 troops left out of that battle. We came in with a measly 12.2 thousand, so we were severely undermanned, but we did have that terrain advantage. The enemy had to come across a river, letting them get bogged down by my archer fire, and then we were also fortified in the healy area here, so the enemy had to charge up a heel, and while they were charging up the heel, we were able to keep that archer fire on them and gain a superior tactical advantage. So we ended up holding out, doing pretty good. We only lost 2,500 troops in this battle, so it was a pretty big victory for us. And you can see it was a pretty big victory for us because it gave us 75 points towards our war score. So so it looks like we have troops coming up here to attack my territory, and I don't have anything I can do about that. It's a 6,000 stack. I believe that's the stack we just defeated down here. They retreated to the north, and now they're going to try attacking land up here in this area. Alright, to the most illustrious Duke B the Sixth, the good little city burgers. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. But that means like the city going folk of New York Port are barely able to pay their taxes to me. Their coffers are empty, and the mayor of that city, he's asking me to lower taxes for my cities. So we can check right now what my tax rate is by going into the law panel and then looking at my realm laws, and that will let me know what my taxes are. Obligations, I guess. I have to go to obligations, not realm laws. It's different once again because I don't have conclave, which does revamp the feudal law system in this game. So this is different than I would normally be playing. Normally, we can see here there's feudal levies, feudal taxation, city levies, city taxation. If you do own the Conclave expansion pack, you're going to see feudal, city, church, and then nomadic and tribal. So you will have options for 4 different type of feudal caste system um, that you would be able to maneuver between troops and taxes. In the vanilla default here, we can see that each one of these has a separate entry for taxes and troops. So I can be a complete dick and make them give me all their troops and all their money, and pretty much they would be able to do nothing about it. They would hate me for doing that, and they might have a revolt and try to overthrow me as their duke. Um, but I can do that in this vanilla game if I want. If you own Conclave, these would be combined on one scale. So instead of having feudal levy, feudal taxations, you would have taxes on the left and army forces on the right, and it would be a scale that you would be deciding between what you want more from that person. You want more of their army, less of their taxes, or do you want more of their taxes, less of their army? So you would want to put, for example, your cities, you would want to say, we don't want any of your troops, you're a city, you can't provide us with decent quality troops, but since you are a city center, you can give us a lot of money from your coffer. So you would want to set that one all the way to taxes and not worry about getting troops. Whereas your nobility, these are people who are your counts or people who are your barons underneath you, people who are holding castles. You'd say you are gonna give me troops, but you're not gonna give me so much money because you're not making any money. You're taking in taxes yourself from cities underneath you, but that goes to administering your own realm. You're really not pulling in any money yourself from your castle, so we want your troops instead. And you can see that here by me clicking on my castle. You can see we click on my castle here and we say currently this castle is giving me 19.11 gold. Um, so that is a yearly amount of gold I am getting from this. Every year I'm getting 19.11 on my taxes collected. Now that compared to the city here, we can see this particular city makes 34 gold. So it's making substantially more gold than my castle is. And we can look here at its troops. Its total levy is 351. So this city is only staffing 351 troops compared to the castle, which is almost triple that, 965 troops. So that's basically how you want to set your laws to take advantage of troops from nobility and take advantage of taxes from your cities. Your bishops and court, your clergy. Normally, your clergy kind of provides you with halfway down the middle. Moderate troops, moderate taxes. It's kind of a balanced affair. But in the vanilla game, I don't see an option to change what you're collecting from your clergy. So basically, in the vanilla game, I think they're going to pay me taxes if they like me more than they like the Pope. So that's how that works here in this game. So here we click on the religion tab, and we're able to see the people who are my bishops in my realm. If they're liking me more than they like the Pope, they're going to be giving me their taxes that they collect. And if they like the Pope better, it's going to be going to Pope Alexander II. So the Pope is on the left, and I am on the right with the crown symbol. So you can see I'm not particularly beloved. They like the Pope more than me, so I'm not getting any kind of taxes from the churches. All the all the money from the church is going to the Pope currently. So all right, so we can appoint bishop successors after one of these bishops passes away. We can say, hey, this guy is going to be the next bishop in line. And the reason we're able to do that, normally the papal state itself, the Pope, would be appointing bishops. And the reason we're able to do that is because France has the law of free investiture. So free investor lets people administer the the bishops on their own. Papa would let the Pope do that. So each one of these is you get a trade-off. If it's set to papal, um, you're gonna get a discount on your piety that you have. It does cost piety to do actions within for the Pope and whatnot, divorces, excommunications, things like that. You'll get a discount from those actions if you have papal investor, and the Pope will end up liking you more. You'll get a opinion modifier from the Pope as well. Putting it on investor free, it's going to cost you more to do actions with the Pope because the Pope doesn't like you. He's kind of pissed off that you're giving power to the feudal system rather than to a church. Uh, but however, giving power to the feudal system via free investor lets you pick your bishops, and your clergy are going to be liking you a little bit more since you have power directly over their appointment. So this guy, going back to this guy here, he wants me to lower the taxes on the cities, and we can see city taxes are currently set on normal. So I'm going to tell this guy to bugger off and just flip him the bird. Say, you know what, F you, buddy. You're still going to be giving me tax rate. In fact, I'm going to increase your taxes now. This is such an absurd request. All my mayors are going to hate me for picking this option. For a 60-month period, they're going to hate me by 10 diplomatic points because I refuse to lower the city taxes. Um, I'm going to actually increase taxes on them just because I'm that much of a dick. So, so we're going to end up getting 20% less from the maximum amount of troops we can call from the city. And all the mayors will dislike me at 10 diplomatic points, but I will be increasing taxes from let's see what we have here. Oh, that's levies. It's the wrong button. All right, we don't want that. We want city taxation. All right, here we go. So our taxation will be going from 25 to 35. So we're given a 10% increase in taxes. And this isn't going to be instantaneous. It has to be voted on by all my current vassals. So people who like me are going to be more in favor voting yes. People who don't like me are going to be more of a favor of saying no. So Normally, if I had Conclave, which is a DLC expansion pack, changing any laws within my realm would be voted on by my council members. So I would say I would assemble my the Council of Flanders, and I would say, hey, I'm gonna increase the city taxes, and then people here on my council would say yay or nay, and the majority would win. I would get a say in it, obviously. So we would have these 5 people vote in. I would just need uh, 2 of them to say yay, because 2 of them with my yay would make a 50%, uh, and then I would be able to pass that at 50%. I don't need 51%. It's not a democracy. I just need half. So, but that is with conclaves, which isn't in this game because I am playing vanilla. So we still need 50% here. So we have 19 people that are supporting this. So we're gonna need to get 9 of these people, I believe. I don't believe I'm counted in that. Let's see. Maybe I am counted in that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not counted in that. So I'm gonna need half of these votes in order to increase taxes. And you can see some of these people have multiple votes they can cast. Count Robert can cast 2 votes, and anybody else who's not a count can cast 1. I am a duke, so okay. So currently, 3 out of 19. That 3 would be from me because I am a duke. So I get 3 points in this. So it's kind of weird, this vanilla game experience for law passes. I guess it goes by your current rank and how many votes you get and how much say you get in law changes. So being the duke, I get 3 votes, so 3 out of 19. Um, Counts will get 2 votes apiece, and then if you're just um, a city, if you're just a mayor or a bishop or a baron, then you just get one vote towards this law. So everybody that's going to be voting for this is going to be whoever this law affects. So we are changing the ducal laws of Flanders. So that's everybody within Flanders right here is going to be voting on this particular law. Now it looks like they're sieging Zealand, which is not a good thing for them to be doing because Zealand is the territory they're trying to claim in this war. So if they're able to siege Zealand and take control of this territory, it's going to give them a big boost in war score towards them. So let's see how the siege is going down here. This territory is almost completely under our control. Once this territory is under our control, um, this castle at least, the temple and city, we would have to continue sieging in order to gain control of those. Once this is under our control, I do hope the King of France moves his army up here um, to engage in these forces. We would be having a negative bonus on this because we would be crossing water, crossing over this little, I don't know what you would call it, but we would be crossing over water, so okay, so there was a victory for us. We ended up getting that siege, was successful. And we can see the war score has now changed. Occupation has gave us 5% bonus. Now if we continue sieging this and we take the temple in the city, it's not going to be 10 and then 15%. Since those are subholdings to the county, they're going to be of a lesser score value. So it's really not worth taking both the city and the temple unless it's part of the war goal, which is Zealand is part of the war goal. So if this army here takes both the temple and the city, they will get a significantly more towards the war score than what you normally would. And it looks like the King of France is going to be a dick and try sieging the temple. So he did get the temple, and we're going to look here at the war score. So we see the temple only gave us 4% and not 5%. So I don't know where he's going. He is going to defend his northern territories. And we do have some Viking forces here from let's see, I don't know where they're from, but their Viking raiders are raiding the coastline here, and they're pillaging my holdings. So fucking stupid ass Vikings. I don't have anything I can do about that because my army is not anywhere near there. So hopefully the king is going to come up here and defend that, because I don't have a... Alright, so those Vikings are going to leave before they're able to make off with any loot. They didn't get any loot because they didn't siege that all the way down. So we're actually going to break our forces off just so we can get this Viking to flee as well. And if you hold down the shift key, you're able to make different waypoints. So you see I'm clicking different tiles here with the shift key held down, and it's making this go into different waypoints. If you just click without holding the shift key down, it's just going to go directly to that wherever you're clicking. So if I want to go here and get these Vikings first, and then I want to go here and reinforce the king's army, I have to click on this and then shift click onto this. So we can see they're running back to their boats. So we're gonna link back up here with the king's army. We do have that negative crossing penalty on this battle. So it's 10,000 against 7,000. We might not even win this war. Let's see what the outcome is. The defenders don't have anybody in the middle flank, so the middle flank might collapse, which will give me an advantage because I can then use those forces on a different flank. Alright, so let's see, there's some kind of event popped up here. It says I might have been too harsh to my courtiers in Zealand, but Chancellor Bishop Jacko managed to calm them down and even have them like me more just by giving them a half a day off. How can I ever reward you or thank you, but you only did your job? So let's see what we can do here. So basically, all the people in my court will like me 5 extra points for a 2-year period, and I can reward this guy by paying him 6 gold, which will make him happy for 15 points for a 2-year period. Or I can say, as my chancellor, you are only doing your job. You're not going to get anything special from me. I appointed you chancellor, and you're acting out your role as you're supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and by doing that, I'm going to gain 10 prestige points, so I'm going to become more prestigious, but this bishop is going to dislike me 5 points for 2 years. So I'm going to say you were only doing your job. We're going to keep with the theme here of my guy being a dick. So combat is your best teacher. Duke B. The Sixth of Flanders has now become a more proficient combatant. So we can see here my educational trait, which was normally I was a skilled technician, has now improved into a brilliant strategist. So the skilled technician, who was adept in the art of war, he was a valiant warrior and a reliant commander. And you can see here it gave me various boosts to my person overall. I had 6 boosts to my martial, gained a point in intrigue and stewardship, lost a point in learning because I don't really care about reading old dusty books and tombs. I just care about fighting in war. And I gained a half a point of health and a point of personal combat skill. Moving from skilled technician over to the brilliant strategist, we still have that personal combat skill and the health and the learning, but our intrigue and stewardship each gained an additional point, and our martial ended up gaining 3 points, I believe. It went from 6 to 9. Yeah, from 6 to 9. So I gained 3 points in martial, I gained an intrigue, and I gained a stewardship. This brilliant strategist has an almost uh, preternatural understanding of all things martial, having the perfect making for a martial or a military tutor. So we're one step closer here to becoming marshal for the Kingdom of France because we did just improve ourselves. Alright, so we're losing here. Our left flank has collapsed, and now our middle flank is being attacked from 2 sides. So it's not looking nice for us. Hopefully our middle flank can hold on out. Looks like we're going to lose this battle. So that was a defeat, and you can see here what happened in that is I told you the things would become negative if we ended up getting a defeat. That's exactly what happened. We lost 36 points towards our war score, so we were at 80 something, and now we dropped all the way down to 58. People who were leading that battle ended up losing prestige, so I ended up losing 24.6 points of prestige from that. We automatically, you will still keep gaining tech points for major battles because you are still automatically fighting the battle regardless if you win or lose. You're still gaining research into military strategies and whatnot. So that was a kind of a stupid move from the King of France. So up here we can see dangerous fractions is in this little bubble, and that's been up there for a pretty long time, and I've basically been ignoring it. I haven't been really paying any attention to it at all, and so now we're in trouble for not paying any attention to that. And we can see factions in the Duchy of Flanders is Count Robercheat to become the Duke of Flanders. So basically that guy wants to depose me and take over. And I've not been paying attention to that at all. So he's saying, he's naming me pretender to the throne, that he is the true ruler for Flanders, and he wants me to step aside to relinquish my titles, or he's going to declare war on me. So I can pretty much step aside, and this is my brother, my motherfucking brother, dude, my own brother who I'm trying to defend right now in Zealand. I joined war to defend his territory from the Holy Roman Empire, and he's stabbing me in the back during this time of war, and he's going to declare war for all of Flanders. So I should have probably just let his territory fall and let him get his territory seized from the HRE. Oh man. So I'm going to be at war here with Zealand. It's not that big of a problem because Zealand's currently under siege, so he's not going to be able to raise troops to fight me because his troops are currently being suppressed. So I'm going to say I'm not going to be blackmailed. You know, screw you. So here we can see he has declared a revolt against me, basically, and he's fighting me for the title of Flanders. Oh, the King of France, what are you doing? He's going right back in to fight those troops once more. Oh man, he just wants to lose this war. He doesn't give a shit. He's horrible. Oh my god. This guy needs to really rethink his strategy. Going right back into battle. He's about to lose once more. Crossing the river, or whatever this is, channel, whatever you call this. He's crossing right over it with an equal amount of troops. He's about to get wiped out again. Actually, we're actually winning that. That's quite surprising. Let's see the reason why we're winning this. Alright, so the reason why we are winning this is apparently the defenders were only filled in no commanders at all. So they didn't have any commanders. I didn't have any commanders, but they only had 2 flanks instead of 3 flanks. So looks like we were able to circle their center flank here. So I'm really surprised we actually are winning this battle. The cook has prepared me a fine meal, but the priest has preached about temperance. I will try to eat modestly, but the food is too good. I will satisfy my hunger with just bread and water. You know, we're gonna keep living the rich and famous lifestyle. We're gonna be living the rich and famous lifestyle, only bettering myself. We don't care about anybody else. As I raise those taxes, and as I told my brother to sod off. So we're gonna say the food's too good. I am the ruler of Flanders. I don't care what some lowly priest has said to me. I'm gonna enjoy the food while I can. So we had a chance of gaining the gluttonous, which is one of the 7 deadly sins, but we didn't gain it. And here you can see that's what those little numbers next to the traits mean. If it's a red trait, it's one of the 7 deadlies. If it's a green trait, it's one of the 7 virtues. So they do is basically the opposite side of the coin. So the virtue of 6 is the opposite of the 6 deadliest sin. So I am I am slothful right now, which is the 4th deadly sin. The opposite of being slothful would be diligent. So the green one would be diligent. And then kind, the opposite of kind would be wroth. So much to my surprise, we ended up winning that battle. We gained 11 points back. It wasn't enough to get back to what we initially had. So we can look here. Wasn't enough to gain back the points we lost initially. I'm going to split my army off. And I'm going to go on to Zealand myself because I am at war with Zealand. So I don't want him raising troops. It looks like the HRE set up an anti-pope. So the Holy Roman Empire right now has their own pope. They don't answer to the true pope. They set up an anti-pope. So Pope Alexander II has no authority over the Holy Roman Empire anymore. Holy Roman Empire answers to Pope Maurinius III. So Catholicism, right now, being a Catholic, is going to be taking a pretty big hit to unity of the Catholic Church. So as the unity of your religion goes down, it becomes less stable, and as it becomes less stable, it's more prone to people splitting off and joining separatist movements within your religion. So we're probably going to start seeing some heresies pop up here. Here we have Wadden City Inn popped up over here already. We're going to see a lot more of those probably pop up because our church's unity is 48%. 48% church unity, and that's because we're taking a 30% hit for having an anti-pope. So our unity of the Catholic Church dropped by 30 points when this anti-pope was appointed. And having an anti-pope gives you a reason to declare war against this guy. Normally, you can't do religious wars against people unless they're excommunicated. If you are playing a Catholic, if they're excommunicated, you can declare war on them, and you can also use holy orders to declare war on them if they're excommunicated because they're considered to be not one with the church. Having an anti-pope set up as well, I believe, will let you use holy orders because holy orders are, as long as they're based outside where the territory of the anti-pope is, they will be fighting for their true religious cause, which would be the papacy. So we can't declare war on him right now because we're currently in a war against him. But if we weren't, we would be able to declare war to depose his anti-pope. So all the other Christian realms could join in on that war, and it would be a holy war to get rid of the anti-pope. So we see right now we're trying to siege this rebellious brother of mine, but we can't do it. There's a little icon over the castle on these people. That means I don't have enough troops to siege this hold-in. So that's basically what that means. So we can see I got 1,400 troops and there's 2,500 defenders. So I need to have more attackers than defenders in order to siege out this castle. So we're going to see if we can raise some more troops. We were able to raise 16 more troops only. So oh no, that's not good. We're going to retreat. The Holy Roman Empire came in and just devastated my forces. That went against the war score for the HRE war. We're just going to disband my troops right now. It's 200 troops. It's not really anything I can use them for. So we're just going to reinforce, send them back to reinforce the garrison of my land here. So there's what I was talking about, heresies popping up since the church is not united anymore. So the Lollard heresy has appeared in the county of Sens. I think that is, let's see where that is. Not in my direct, not in my direct demonies or in my feudal chain of command, I guess. It's still within the Kingdom of France, however, so hoping that the Holy Roman Empire can go ahead and conquer Zealand. I'm hoping that they can conquer that because I don't want to have to deal with my brother anymore. And if we can get them to conquer that, we can probably get a white peace with the HRE, so we won't lose that territory. But at the same time, my brother will uh, have lost some levy and garrison, hopefully. So even though I don't have any troops raised right now, I am still a commander for the Kingdom of France. So the king has appointed me commander to his main force, which is currently fighting in this battle. And my careful battle maneuvers have shown my patient nature to everybody. So I'm going to gain one of the 7 virtues here. I'm going to gain patience as a tribute to my man. So we can see I am now patient, and it's going to give me bonuses to several of my other traits. Most noticeably, if I'm leading troops, I'm going to gain 20% to my defense. So if I'm the defender, I'm going to gain 20% bonus. So it looks like France is under besieged a lot here. Uh, England landed some troops here. That's what this is. English crown has conquered this territory in France, and that's because of William the Bastard, who's trying to take the throne of England right now. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job. He has a couple of territories. We're going to check on his progress, and in order to do that, we look at the ledger, which is down here in the bottom. Click on the ledger, and you just flip through it, and you can find where all the current ongoing wars. So we want to look for the current war of England and Prince William the Bastard's child here. Here it is right here. Norman Conquest. The war score is -15. So that means it's going 15% against Duke William the Bastard. So it looks like King Godwin of England is winning the war right now. So that means that France will probably not lose territory to England because William is not going to be breaking off here. So this ducal land here will probably be remaining as French territory if King Godwin can win this war that he's fighting. Treacherous brother, we can see the war score is 8% in my favor. And the reason why it's 8% in my favor is because having declared a rebellion, you need to inflict damage yourself. So having defend against the rebellion, I really don't have to do anything, As long as my land is being untouched and I'm not losing in battles against this traitorous upriser, the war is going to be in my favor. So over time, I'm just going to keep gaining war score. And the only way I will actually lose war score is if this traitor takes territory that belongs to me or wins in battles against me. So I should be uh, slowly gaining a chance to do a white peace, and then that should be good. A desolate noble from a former enemy court asks for permanent hospitality. I can welcome somebody in my court, or I can tell him he can only stay for the night. I'm gonna lose gold if I will soldier to my court. So be saying you can stay for one night and then you gotta pack your shit and get the hell out. A book without into my hands by a hooded man, slew. Something was said, but it was lost in the confusion, and the book remains here. It wants me to read it, or hey, wait, I don't want to read this book. I'm interested in learning stuff, so I'm gonna say hey, wait. Apparently, I glanced um, ink. The man couldn't be anything but these precious part malarkey. I have learned that so person love book. I told them to wait, and I will dollar trade. So I'm from this suit over book with the known city here in the county. Paris because of the and is within we want to make sure and and uh, for those. So this much